WWE Fastlane takes place this Sunday in Cleveland, Ohio at the Quicken Loans Arena. And what you have here is a setup show for WrestleMania. Whenever you have a show in between the two biggest shows of the year, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, it's usually a filler show. And Elimination Chamber did feel like more of an important show because of the Chamber stipulation, but here we just have a regular pay-per-view with no real gimmick. And this is more of just a glorified Raw than an actual pay-per-view, especially when you look at the card and you have matches that are just going to set up WrestleMania. So I personally think this is a pointless pay-per-view. I think all the matches here, you could have easily done them on Raw and SmackDown and just had extra time to just focus on WrestleMania and just did all these matches and make those shows better. But they have to do a filler pay-per-view because they need their network hours up. You have 9 matches. You have 2 on the pre-show, which is only going to be 1 hour. So some of the matches might get cut short because they have to do about 10 video packages on the pre-show. So Mysterio and Andrade are probably going to lose time because of a pointless tag team match that has no business on the show. But with that being said, we had a match that was just added quickly, I think earlier today, which is a tag team match. You have the New Day, Big E, and Xavier Woods against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. I think the New Day was going to do some sort of watch-along with Pat McAfee and a whole bunch of wrestlers. I think Alexa Bliss is going to do it too, and a whole bunch of them. But I suppose they're going to have a match on the pre-show. I think the New Day beats Nakamura and Rusev. Rusev and Nakamura have been absolutely nothing. I would be surprised if Rusev is still with this company much longer. I think he's probably leaving when his contract's up. And Nakamura is probably going to stay. I think he's just someone who's just going to be happy collecting a paycheck. He doesn't want to kill his body in New Japan, so I think he's just going to be used as an enhancement talent now. He peaked last year. He had his big run. Never got the title, but they pushed him heavily, gave him the Royal Rumble and stuff. But I think now they've settled down with him. I think he's just going to be used as a guy to put other people over. So I think the New Day wins. The second match on the pre-show is a match I think a lot of people are probably going to be angry that it's on the pre-show, and especially this feud because so many people think this could be a WrestleMania match. I don't think so. This will happen at WrestleMania at all. I think if you were going to do a WrestleMania match, you save it. I don't think you do a match on the pre-show, the pay-per-view before. So I think Rey Mysterio and Andrade will have a good match. If they gave them time, they'd have the best match on the show. I have no doubt about it. Maybe Becky and Charlotte could be better, and Bryan, Kevin Owens, but these two, what we've seen them do on SmackDown, they can just tear the host down. But I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a show where you have fans still coming in the building, and they may be hot for it because it's going to be early in the show, but I still don't think they're really going to have much attention to it, and I think it'll just be it's a pre-show match. But I think Rey Mysterio is going to win. I think Andrade has gotten the best of him, but I'm going to give this one to Mysterio. Now, moving on to the main card, you have 4 tag team matches, only 3 singles matches. So let's start with the Raw Tag Team Championship, a triple threat match, which I think will probably open the show. I'm assuming you have the Revival defending their titles against Ricochet and Aleister Black, and then Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. So I don't think they should put the titles on Ricochet and Aleister Black. I really think those two are better off as single stars, especially Aleister Black. Aleister Black needs to be just this character alone. He needs to be this devil-worshipping, satanic character like an outsider. He doesn't fit as a tag team. They can't have Aleister Black normal and humanized, which they're humanizing Aleister Black. They've done a terrible job with him. Ricochet you can have as a team. It doesn't matter. He's a normal guy. But I think these two, they shouldn't be a team, and I hate that the fact that they're tagging them up. I also wanted to mention NXT, you had Tommaso Ciampa have a neck injury. He had to undergo neck surgery this morning. Awful. He has to relinquish the title. He might be out for over a year. That absolutely sucks. It sucks for Ciampa. It sucks for TakeOver. You could have had Gargano and Ciampa in the finale, and we're not going to see that. It is horrible. I feel awful for Tommaso Ciampa. So well wishes go to him. This is just really, really unfortunate. But he is, I don't know what they're going to do with Gargano, who he's going to face at TakeOver now. It could be a Black and Ricochet. They could use them at TakeOver. We don't know. But I don't think they're going to win. And I think Chad Gable and Bobby Roode are just here to take the fall. So I think Revival win. Revival pin Gable or Roode. So I'm going with Revival to retain. Next, we go to a match that is a match where it's more important to see what the angle is than the actual wrestling. And that's the Usos defending their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against Shane McMahon and The Miz. So the big question is, who's turning heel? Is The Miz going to turn heel? Is Shane McMahon going to turn heel? Is The Miz's dad, George, going to turn heel? I think the most likely scenario is, I might be wrong on this, but I think Shane's going to turn because I think this is Cleveland, Ohio. And it is Cleveland, Ohio. Miz's hometown. I think Shane turned on The Miz. I think The Miz is going to get pinned once again. I think Shane's going to turn on him. I think they're going to have The Miz as a babyface. I think he's going to beat Shane at WrestleMania, but I think they want to push him big as a babyface right now. And I think he takes the fall here, but it'll be for the greater good because I think he's going to get a run as a babyface. I'm going to go with the Usos to retain. I think Shane will turn on The Miz. I think it'll happen after match. I don't think Shane will turn during the match. I think The Miz will lose. He'll blow it again. 2 pay-per-views in a row for his team. I think Shane turns on him post-match. Maybe they even do an angle with his dad and his dad gets hit. We don't know. I'm going with the Usos to retain. Now we go to the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. The first official title defense. It's Sasha Banks and Bayley defending their titles against Nia Jax and Tamina. So they just won the titles 3 weeks ago. I don't think anyone in their right mind expects Nia and Tamina to win. Even though they pushed Nia still, I don't think anyone can envision Tamina Snuka getting a title run. I think they're still going to push Nia, but I think just get rid of Tamina. I don't even know why she's still on the main roster. She has nothing. Who wins? I think Sasha and Bayley win. It could be a situation where they extend it. They could have Bayley and Sasha lose on a counter or they lose on a DQ. I can't see them losing the tag team titles, but I could see a situation where the rumors are they want to do a fatal 4-way tag team match for the women's titles. They could do a situation where Nia and Tamina are involved in that match and maybe add an NXT team and a Smackdown team like Sonya and Mandy, who they love. They could do something like that, so I'm not going to rule out Sasha and Bayley like losing by not losing the titles. There's no way they're losing their titles here, but I'm going to say they beat them. I'm just going to give them the win. I think they beat Nia Jax and Tamina. I think they keep the belts, and I think they're going to get a decent reign as champions. I think they really deserve it. They've done nothing with them for a year before they got the titles. And all of 2018, they were nothing. They were dead. They were just being treated horribly on the main roster. They get the belts. I think they're going to give them a decent run. So I'm going to say they retain the titles. Next, we go to a 6-man tag team match. You have The Shield, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose against Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, and Bobby Lashley. So I think no one in the world expects the Shield to lose, and I'm not going to even talk about that. The Shield's going to win. I'm more interested to see what they build to later. I don't know what they're going to do with Roman at WrestleMania. There's rumors that he might be in a tag team match with Dean Ambrose against 2 opponents, or they could have him go against Ambrose in the singles. It's interesting because I don't know about Reigns' health condition. Is he going to be able to go a full match here? You can do tag team matches all you want. I don't think you'll see Roman too much. I think you'll see him make a big tag at the end and get the win with the spear, but you won't see him work the majority of the match. When's he going to be ready to work a full singles match? And he has about a month to get ready. Will he be ready to face Ambrose at WrestleMania? Because I think that's the match that makes the most sense. Reigns and Ambrose in WrestleMania in a singles match. And there was rumors that was originally going to happen for the title. Before he got sick, the original plan was Reigns and Ambrose, according to Dave Meltzer. I think Reigns will pin probably Corbin because that's the most likely win. Corbin's fucking terrible. I think Corbin takes the pin. I think Reigns gets the win here for his team. And I think Rollins is going to go on to face Lesnar. And I think Reigns and Ambrose probably face at WrestleMania. Next, the SmackDown Women's Championship. You have Asuka defending her title against Mandy Rose. So Mandy Rose defeated Asuka on SmackDown 2 weeks ago. Usually when that happens, all right, she's just there to get a win so she can lose at the pay-per-view. Then on the go-home show to SmackDown, you had Asuka get the better of Mandy Rose. When he had Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville up on the ramp after Mandy beat Naomi, you had Asuka jump them both, destroy them both, throw each of them into the stage and onto the Titantron. So Asuka left Mandy and Sonya laying. So I think you'll see Sonya Deville get involved in this match. Is it possible that Mandy Rose wins? Because whenever they do that, they have... Whenever they have, you looking strong at the last show, that means you're usually going to lose on the pay-per-view. I'm going to say no because I think Asuka's going to win. I think they're going to do Asuka and Lacey Evans at WrestleMania. They could do like a Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville shock match at WrestleMania that could surprise people. They could do a triple threat with Asuka, Mandy, and Sonya. They could do just Asuka and Lacey or a multi-woman match. I don't know, but I think the most likely scenario is Asuka and Lacey Evans ending with Asuka to beat Mandy Rose. I think she chokes her out with the Asuka lock, and I think Asuka keeps her title. Next, the WWE Championship. You have Daniel Bryan defending his title against Kevin Owens. So I think this isn't as predictable as people think. A lot of people are vehemently thinking Daniel Bryan's just going to beat Kevin Owens. It's going to be it. I think Daniel Bryan will most likely win. I expect him to win. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I mean, I could see a surprise here. I could see something where they want to set up a match that's at WrestleMania in a triple threat. They can go Kevin Owens defending against Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston. But I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan. I think he'll beat Kevin Owens. I think it'll be a clean win. I think it could be the main event. I don't know. It's going to be this or Charlotte or Becky in the main event. I think this could go on last, but I'm going to go with Charlotte and Becky because I'm going to say something a little bit more controversial in that match. But I think Daniel Bryan beats Kevin Owens. I think they'll have a great match here. If they get time, they should have a thriller match. But I think Daniel Bryan's going to get the win. And I think that sets up Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania. But it could be a triple threat with KO as champ. It could be Daniel Bryan retaining, and then it sets up to a triple threat anyways. We don't know. But I think the most likely scenario is a singles with Bryan and Kofi at Mania. And I'm going to pick Daniel Bryan to win, but I wouldn't be completely shocked if Kevin Owens gets the title here. Next, we have a match I'm not sure is going to be the main event, but I think might be the most anticipated match because it's going to lead to the main event at WrestleMania. You have Charlotte Flair against Becky Lynch. If Becky Lynch wins, she'll be added to the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania and make it a triple threat match. So we all know Becky Lynch is going to get into this match, and it will be a triple threat match. But will it happen on this pay-per-view? I am going to say no. I think Charlotte's going to win. Now, before you get mad, let me explain why. Becky has pretty much made Charlotte her bitch the last year, to be honest. After Charlotte won the title at SummerSlam, Becky beats her for the belt. Becky wins all these big matches against Charlotte. She beats her at the big classic match at Evolution. She was getting the better of her all of SmackDown. It was always Becky kicking Charlotte's ass. And then, it just seemed that at the Royal, it really came of how much more over Becky was than Charlotte was. Becky beats Charlotte at the Royal Rumble. She's the last one to eliminate her. They have to give Charlotte a win over Becky. And I think they want to get Charlotte as a major heel. And Ronda Rousey is going to be the most hated person during WrestleMania weekend. She's pretty much saying wrestling's fake, it's scripted. This is a work. Don't for one second you think Ronda Rousey is going order for way to say, oh, WWE's fake, UFC's real, stuff like that. They're telling her to do that. They want to get as much heat as possible. They want some media outlets to fall for this. They're trying to make this a major story. Like, remember when Dana White a few years ago treated wrestling's fake and all of the IWC lost their minds? I think there's less outrage about Ronda because I think people can tell it's part of a storyline, but this is really good to get the fans mad. They're going to just hate Ronda, and I think they're going to hate Charlotte because I think to get a lot of heat on Charlotte too, they can have Charlotte beat Becky here, and to get a lot of heat, and they can have two hated wrestlers at WrestleMania, Charlotte and Ronda. And then finally, Becky overcomes them both, and Becky Lynch wins the title at WrestleMania. I think this is where it's going to go. I think Charlotte's going to win, but I think Becky's going to still get into the match. If you think Ronda and Charlotte's going to happen with Becky like facing Asuka or something or not part of the main event, you are a fucking idiot. I think WWE wants to create as much outrage as humanly possible for this match. They know the fans are going to lose their shit if Becky doesn't win this match, and they may think, oh, she's not going to be in the main event. It's so similar to Daniel Bryan 5 years ago at WrestleMania 30. And that was actually real. He wasn't supposed to be in the main event, but the fans were so mad they forced WWE's hand. Here, WWE knows Becky's going to probably get the big moment, and they're just going to let the fans go crazy, get mad, and say, cancel WWE Network until Becky gets in the main event and she wins, and it's the big, happy WrestleMania moment. So I think WWE is just being the heel. I think they want to make Vince McMahon thinks this, and then the fans are just losing their minds. So I think they're playing into the wrestling community here, playing into their psyche. But I think Charlotte's going to win. I think this is a full story to play out, and I think Becky will get into this match, and she will win the title at WrestleMania. But I think Charlotte wins. So that's my predictions for Fastlane. It's in Cleveland. Hopefully Cleveland's a good crowd. It's not necessarily a big wrestling city, but it could be a fun show this week. It's WrestleMania season. It's always a lot of fun during WrestleMania season, even when the product's not good. It's just cool seeing the WrestleMania sign and knowing you have WrestleMania to look forward to in a few weeks. So it's a lot more entertaining during this time of the year, and hopefully we get a good show at Fastlane. It is a filler show, but with the matches, some of the matches could really deliver, and it could be a sleeper show.